Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to your Pisces full moon reading. And this full moon is going to be happening on September 20th around 5:54 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So depending on where you're at in the world, that's going to be when it's going to be at its fullest. And I love that this one's called the autumn moon, because whatever moon is closest to the autumn equinox, that one gets to have the title and wins the title of autumn moon. And since the autumn equinox happens on September 22nd, this one obviously is a couple days away. So that is why it's the autumn moon. So a little tidbit of fun information there. And I love that we're coming into this Pisces full moon following 2 consecutive months in Aquarius, with Aquarius full moons, 2 in a row. And those bring in this energy of hopes and dreams, of building community, assisting the whole collective in its evolution towards unconditional love. Now that can also put us into this sort of a stagnant dream state where we're daydreaming off in the future about this is what we want, and we may not take action toward it. But what's beautiful is this Pisces full moon brings in a perfect balance between the dreaminess and the dreaming and looking into the future, but also taking practical steps towards our goals. And it's also, of course, with it being Pisces, it's a time of deep emotions. Full moon alone has deep emotions. And so definitely when you bring in Pisces into it, you do have a very expanded, explosive, emotional type energy. That also means the veil will be extra thin between the physical world and with our spiritual companions, our spiritual posse on the other side. So if we are unsure of the next steps we want to take, those practical steps, or we need advice, Spirit is waiting for, to give us the answers, to answer our questions, give us guidance and all that. Also, next month we'll be having a full moon in Aries. So Aries brings in a lot of, drive and ambition and inspiration. So we'll have a lot of extra energy to funnel into our progress on those practical steps, but also keeping in mind that Pisces, that's the end of the zodiac, kind of cycle, and we're starting a new one. So that can also bring in some possible revisions and alter our course a bit. So something to keep in mind as we're going forward. Now, the last new moon in Pisces was back on March 13th of this year. So, when you look at the new moon, full moon cycles, it's about 6 months apart-ish, give or take a couple weeks, a few weeks. And so beyond the monthly phase, kind of moon phases, we have this large 6-month moon phase that happens. And so whatever was planted and kind of started at the new moon in Pisces, this full moon is the climax of that stuff. And then we start to, kind of wane back to the new moon, the next new moon in Pisces, which will be down, further down 6 months-ish from now. So back then, if you look back around March 13th, you might see that you were encouraged to kind of take this leap of faith, have this courage to share a dream, or you were harnessing, extra creativity. There's this huge energy around it about taking this movement forward or forward movement. And so now is the time to revisit the plans we had back then, our dreams, whatever it was, and see what alterations we now want to make, what changes we want to make to those plans. What are we ready to let go of that no longer, is needed, no longer serves our, possibly altered dream, especially as we move into the Aries full moon. So for this reading, what we're going to ask is, what does Spirit want us to know about next steps? And so we're going to go ahead and jump in for your reading right now. All right, all my Aquarians, this is your reading for the full moon in Pisces. And since we're asking Spirit for messages on about what they want you to know about your next steps. We're going to pull a card here from the Bird Messages Oracle, and we'll find out what bird is going to bring you a message and what is that message. There we go. All right. So for Aquarians, what do you want them to know about this Pisces full moon, and what advice, what information for their next steps, for their next actions? Nope. Okay, it's going to be this one right here. And you have the albatross. Show you the picture there. And it says, conserve your energy and reap bountiful rewards, albatross. Yeah, I believe they can go great distances. We'll see here in just a moment and see what other information we have about the albatross in here. So the mighty albatross is mistress of the southern oceans and their crashing stormy waves. Supreme navigator, her 7-foot wingspan, the widest of all feathered beings, albatross harnesses the wind and the waves. Updrafts to fly for days, for months, with barely a wing beat, effortlessly covering 5,000 miles to Brazil and back to source the nutritious squid for her chick. An albatross, unlike many, has no need of fresh water, for the sea creatures she takes from the ocean's surface fulfill her every need. Wisely husbanding her energy allows albatross to endure for 60 years and many more. And if she has glided silently into your cards, it's to counsel you against futile haste. Travel like albatross with gentle measure to arrive refreshed, and your best will surely emerge. Perform one task well, not 3 hastily and therefore carelessly. Approach material and mental tasks with thoughtful consideration and reap bountiful rewards. This is the wisdom of albatross. What a perfect message for next steps. Definitely focusing in on one thing and do it well, not 3 things hastily and end up, it being poorly done, right? And done in haste either. It's like, why are you rushing to get to the end? Enjoy the process, let it unfold. Walk each step. And I love that so much. The 7-foot wingspan, the largest wingspan, and you can float. And as long as you conserve your energy, you can keep going. Otherwise, you'll burn yourself out. And then the thing that you wanted won't be worth it because you've impacted your health, and maybe even your passion for that thing is no longer in place. So I love that. We're also going to pull some cards here from the Fairy Tarot. And we're just going to find out what else Spirit Creator wants you to know about this 3-week period around the full moon. So what we're going to look at, we're going to pull one card for the week before the full moon, a week for after the full moon, and then a card for 2 weeks after the full moon. So for Aquarians for the week before the full moon, what do you want them to know about that? Okay, this one right here. And then what about the week after? Okay, that one here. Okay, and then the third one. Okay, got it. So the week before the full moon, you've got Justice. And this is normally, number 8 is normally the Strength card. But so this Justice card here is take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end, fair and objective decisions, but take the time. So I love that message there. And they usually, do they have the sword? Yep, here's the Ace of Swords right here. And then they have the scales here. And it's usually, what this message means is weighing out, taking the time to weigh out what you're doing and why you're doing it. One side of the scale is your human side, your ego side. It's the one that lives off of the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, all these expectations that come from the outside world. And the other one is your higher self, your spiritual self, that more higher viewpoint self. And that gets you into your heart, into your soul, and understanding what truly is your passion for life. What is it truly that you want to accomplish, what you truly want to do? So it's a beautiful, beautiful awareness that comes. And the Ace of Swords is what brings you truth. And it differentiates between the small t truths on the scale of the human ego side and the capital T truths of eternity and of your soul. So this really is about the week before the full moon in Pisces, is you're evaluating and weighing, what is it really I really want to do? And all this energy that's coming in, from the Aquarian to full moons is all about the dreaminess and, that. But when you're getting into doing the practical planning of it, suddenly it's like this. What did they used to call it when they had a little paper? There's a little paper like the chest of the acidic things, but it's like this litmus test. That's what I was trying to think of. And you're like, if it's really your passion and it's from your soul, then you have this unlimited power, like the albatross, to go to it, because it's what you love, it's what you enjoy, you're doing it for you. But if it's something that your human ego wants to do because it feels it's what it needs to feel validated, and it's what other people are saying you should do, then the passion really drops quickly for it. And so that's a good litmus test to understand. And when you're weighing it out, it's like, well, really, is this what I want to do? And then the week after, we've got renewal, and this is normally the World card, number 20, I believe. And it's just like the ending of a cycle, a major cycle and the beginning of a new. So review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future, understanding your life purpose. There you go. Releasing judgments of yourself and others. So really understanding your life purpose. And this is perfect because, like you're saying, you're weighing it out here. And then afterwards, you really understand it. You're like, yes, I get it. I know what my soul purpose is. And then you're letting go of the old plans and you're focusing on the new direction you want to go. We kind of talk that too about the Pisces is the end of this cycle of, the zodiac signs, and you're restarting with the full moon in Aries next month with that full moon energy. So this planning and this, what you're seeking is being altered with all this energy changes, but really getting in tune with your soul is what is having this change of heart, change of passion, and you're realizing what it is you really want to go after. And then the second week after the full moon, you have the Princess of Winter, which is going to be the Page of Swords in the regular tarot. And you can see inquisitive, truthful, realistic, undiplomatic. And it says here, information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. So definitely, I love the beautiful white tiger, right? But it's beautiful because this is all about the truth here. You've got the Page of Swords, which is new messages coming from the outside, new messages coming in about your truth. So it's so beautiful. All these cards really work so well together. We're also going to pull more cards here, but from this Everyday Tarot. We're just going to find out what more the Creator wants you to know about these 3 weeks. And I think the sun is starting to go down a little bit. Let me bring in some more light here. There we go. Getting a little too dark. All right, Creator. So for this first week before the full moon, what do you want us to know? Nope, I said not all those. About this balancing, this justice, this understanding between the small t truths and the capital T truths. What else do you want us to know? Okay, I feel like this one and this one, and actually this one too. Wow, okay. Yeah, so you got the Wheel of Fortune, and this makes total sense too, because this is all about connecting to your soul, and realizing when you connect to your higher self, it's the story with the Wheel of Fortune is you come here, before you come here as your soul, you're kind of meeting in heaven with the Creator and Spirit, and you're like, okay, this is what I want to be, and this is what I want to experience when I go down. So this is when I'm going to go down into this game. This is the avatar I'm going to, have represent me, what I look like, what I think about, all my strengths, opportunities. It's like if you ever saw the movie Jumanji, the more recent version one. It's like they touch themselves and boom, it pops up their strengths and opportunities and weaknesses, and they choose their weapons and all that kind of stuff, like as if you're going into a real video game. And that's what we do. And then we also choose when we're going to be leaving the game. And then everything we want to experience as we go through life, all these fated events, all these situations and circumstances we want to experience. And our free will within each one of those, the little avatar gets to choose the story it applies to each of those events. So it still has that free will and that fluctuation and flexibility to determine what it means. It also gets to choose what emotion it feels in the moment. Is it going to be an extreme emotion of fear, an extreme emotion of unconditional love, or something in between? So this Wheel of Fortune shows you that, life, you have a lot of structure and things are going to be happening in your life on purpose, for a purpose. You still get to choose what it all means as you're going through it. But it also shows you that life happens for you and it's not happening to you. So when you realize that, this helps. So when you're connecting, this is like a capital T truth that comes for you. Yeah. And then you got the Hermit. So this is about taking the light that you are, and you're this star, and actually you are the star. In the major arcana, the star card is Aquarian. And so this is actually you. You guide yourself as you dive and go into this inner search, this inner reflection, discovering who you really are and what you're really wanting in life. So that makes total sense. That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. And then you have the Page of Pentacles. So new opportunities, new messages coming in from the outside world as well. So there's clarification that comes in how things reveal themselves, how people reveal themselves. So situations that happen bring you more clarity around the small t truths, because you kind of see some of the small t truths fall apart during this period coming up to and including the week before the full moon. So it really helps you understand, and you kind of just see all this starting to unfold. And let's take a look here at the week after the full moon with this renewal. What else do you want us to know about that week, please? Okay, this one here. That one there. Well, and that one there. You got three again. Boom, boom, boom. Make some space here. Yep, you have the Emperor. And the Emperor is really, so you got a lot of major arcana here. It's crazy. But the Emperor represents all the old rules, like the small t truths. All the society, the external world. Just think of it as a ruler that is having a large, population of people move into one location. You need to have some rules in place in order to have everyone not kill each other and die of disease and stuff. So the intention of a kind emperor is to, have these rules in place. But then over time, this ego grows and you turn into a dictator, and it's more about power and remaining in power and remaining in control. And so this is about all these expectations and all these roles and, all those small t truths. So you're realizing that, and it's becoming very clear on what was of loving, existing kind of energy, and what has become this dictator feeling in there. And boom, can't make it up. Here you go. the star, like we were talking about. So this is you. You're connecting to yourself. You're realizing your essence and your true self. I mean, you are the star, and you're the water bearer, and you're the one that brings these beautiful, amazing, living waters to help quench people's thirst, which is what? When we connect to the Creator, when we connect to the Mother and Father of all things, we have that living water, which is the essence of unconditional love of our Creator. And what I love about this is it's pouring it out onto the ground, like the Temperance card. You can kind of see it's similar to this, except it's from one cup to another. It's not drifting down onto everything, but here it's falling onto land and it's falling into the water. And so this is impacting your physical world, your, like the pentacles in your mind. And then also it's going into the water, which represents your emotions, and also your spirit, your like it would be like the wands, the spiritual energy as well. So this connection, remembering who you really are, boom, no wonder you're having a renewal there, because you're connecting to your true self, and that capital T truths are coming in. Because one of the messages that Aquarian energy brings is it shows us what we're truly thirsty for. And in doing that, it shows us what was not quenching our thirst. So it's a beautiful balance in that contrast that happens. When you have these living waters that do quench your thirst, then you see how all those other paths and those things you wanted weren't what you were passionate about, and you discover what you truly are passionate about. And it makes sense that the Tower comes in here, because the Wheel of Fortune here, when I was telling you the story about everything unfolding, along that storyline is there's something that we have wanted in our life up to this point. It could be like a relationship, it could be like a job, any kind of circumstance, or and the relationship doesn't have to be like romantic. It can be friendship, family, co-worker, even with your fur babies or whatever. We have this relationship that we have, or this like circumstance, like job or social status, something like that, or something you own, or your money, something, possession, even your body, So it's like this thing that you've had up to this point has served its purpose, but for you to experience all these other things you wanted to experience, this needs to move out of your life. It's like it's in the way. And if you look at it, like kind of like a caterpillar needs to have the experience of the cocooning, and if the cocoon doesn't leave, it never becomes the butterfly. It's like this has to leave so you can become the butterfly. And so when you're connecting with your higher self and you're connecting to spirit, if you're not in fear with all that noise, and you have that connection, and you're on the frequency of unconditional love and peace and joy and laughter, when you're on that level, it's so great, because you get to hear the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lightning bolt, right? You have that where the lightning bolt hits and blasts. And what I love about this is, like, this person got blasted out of the tower, and this is the crown. This is like the higher self knowing and jumping out before the lightning hits. And we can do that. So if the tower's moment is going to be here, and we hear it back here, we can take the item out of our life at that point and avoid the tower explosion moment. Or we can wait to number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. And if we don't, there's no judgment and all that, because sometimes we do want to experience everything right up until it is removed out of our life, and that is okay. It's just knowing that we have a choice is amazing. But then this tower moment comes, and again, with the message of the Wheel of Fortune, is life happens for us. When this tower moment happens and something gets removed out of our life, then it's happening for us, and we can understand that. And so it's beautiful, because when you switch these around, these old ways of thinking, these old belief patterns are what are being removed, and what allows you to shine even brighter as the star here. All right, and then we're going to look here at this second week after the full moon. What do you want us to know about this? Okay. Got that there. So that was the Princess of Winters, the Page of Swords. Yeah, what's this new information that's coming in? What's this new beliefs? What's that all about? Anything else? Okay, last pass. Okay, thank you. Okay. Yep, so you got, it's funny, you got IV and VI are the cards up here. So this is the Four of Swords. So again, swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your mentalities. This is about your mind is at rest. And what's beautiful is they've got the Three of Swords up top here and the Ace of Swords down here, right? So we talked about the Ace of Swords in here. That's what is used to cut away, like the Tower here, old thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve us. Well, the Three of Swords, I call, when it's on the card by itself, it's the expectations card, totally about the Emperor. And so this kind of sums up the Tower and the Emperor together. It's being removed, and you can literally, it's like it's dark out and you're sleeping and you're resting, solidly, because you know you have the power to remove those things out of your life. And what comes into that too is the Lover's card here. And two things with this one. The first is that this is about finding the truest love possible, which is you, that unconditional love. And you're getting that from above. You're getting that from your higher self. It's not from these. You have the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you. The other thing that is pretty cool, I love someone's interpretation of the Lover's card, because it comes after the Emperor and the Hierophant. Both the Emperor and the Hierophant have this kind of controlling type energy about them, where the Emperor is about society and controlling and roles and trying to, have this definition of how you live life. The Hierophant does the same thing, but for our spiritual life and our spiritual expression. So the Lovers comes after that, and in this journey of our soul and our ego as it's going along, the first time we're willing to break the roles of the Emperor, break the roles of the Hierophant, is when we have this love come into our lives. When there's something that we're passionate about, usually a person, a crush. It's the first time we're willing to break our curfew because we don't care. There, all that matters, when we're willing to break, those rules. And so I love it, because that's what all this is about, is the love, having the love and the passion. And now for what you're wanting in your life, you're finding your soul purpose. You're really finding that capital T truth, and you're willing to break those external roles put on us by mankind, because it's what you love so much and you're willing to make whatever sacrifice it takes to get there. So I love that. And then, because we're talking to your feathered friends, we're also going to pull a card here from the Guardian Angel deck. And so you've had a Guardian Angel with you since the moment your soul was created. And a Guardian Angel was also formed as your kind of buddy and helpmate to go along with you. And so they will be with you forever and ever. As long as you're in existence as a soul, they are with you. I love showing the side of these cards because they're so beautiful. And it's a reminder that we are never, ever, ever alone. We have that large group of beings on the other side of unconditional love and light that are with us every second of our life here, cheering us on, helping us out. They won't mess with our free will, like we talked about with the Wheel of Fortune. We have all these events and everything that we want to unfold. They're busy having those things unfold as we requested. But by our own free will, if we as the avatar, as this human, if we ask of our own free will for them to give us answers, show us things, help us out, do this, do that, I try to remember each day when as soon as I remember it, to do it, is to invite them in and go ahead and meddle in my life, bring me my experiences that are going to give me the highest vibration of unconditional love and my best experience in this lifetime. And then they will. because they're able to, as long as it doesn't interfere with what we told them before we came down. Sometimes like we're like, I don't want to know that. Don't tell me that because it's going to ruin it for me. And they're like, okay. And so we ask and they're like, nope, that's the thing he told us not to tell him, so we can't. And we promised we wouldn't, so that's the kind of thing that happens. But there's a huge group up there. We've got the Creator, Spirit, guardian angels, spirit guides, loved ones you've been with in this lifetime that have already gone to the other side, your ancestors, just an endless group of beings of unconditional love and light that are with you. So just know you're never alone. Yay! This is one of our favorite words, patience. So your guardian angel says patience is required at the moment. You may feel that things are not moving as fast as you would like. And Albatross told you to simmer down and not rush, right? Yet there is a lot going on energetically. Yeah, that's for sure. The current situation causing concern is evolving positively. Let go and have patience. You will eventually realize that this whole event was in fact a blessing, like Tower moment, right? All is perfect as it is. Trust. You are eternally loved and guided. Beautiful. I love that. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Whispering Woods. And these cards were called out to me. We got the fairies and we got the birds. And so Magical Forest, of course, just said, I want to be included in that. So this will be your final messages. So Aquarius, what is the final message from Spirit regarding this beautiful... Okay, this is... Oh, you got two. Yeah, so you got clearing, make room for growth. So yeah, definitely this towering... is this renewal. So it's allowing you to move things out of the way so that you can bring in the new, we talked about letting old thoughts and old beliefs go too. And then you have humility. And it says, flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. So definitely, when you remember who you are, when you remember you're a star, there's this humility that automatically comes with it anyway, with unconditional love. But in the beginning, our ego goes, yeah, I'm a superstar. And, we can roll over people when we have that power come in, that energy come in with us. So just remember, just stay humble. Everyone is a star in the sky. You're just discovering your higher self and connecting to it. So it's beautiful. I'm loving this, Aquarius. All right. So just know as you're going throughout every moment of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. So you hang in there, enjoy your Pisces full moon experience here. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon. You take care.